YouTube is great. It's a great resource for everything, really. I haven't found anything that I haven't been able to at least get some sort of information from YouTube. We're on it right now. Wow. But for the prepper community, of which I am a member, it's kind of a use it while you got it kind of situation, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, we go online if we want to find out how to can beans or plant pumpkins or collect seeds or skin a deer or tips on how to clean your Glock. It's all on YouTube. This Canadian Preppers page. I'm giving a little shout out. He kind of got me into doing the YouTube channel. I've been prepping for a while, but Canadian Prepper, who's awesome, got me into doing my own channel. So what do we do about that? The whole premise of the prepper culture is that all of this might not be there someday. So what I do is I store it on these guys. This is a 2 GB hard drive, and it's labeled documentaries, and it has all sorts of stuff that I've gotten offline that I just save on there in case online at some point isn't available. I did homeschooling for a while with the kids, and kind of still doing it. And I started doing this when I was getting documentaries for them to watch on YouTube, and then they'd be pulled for copyright reasons. I started downloading them instead, and I'm going to tell you how I do downloading of video content. What I've got them in here is a little padded lunchbox, which some might think is a Faraday cage, but I don't think it would be a very effective one. It's mostly just a padded lunchbox where I keep all that stuff. But the software program that I use is this right here. It's iSkySoft Media Converter Deluxe. They also have just a free downloader app. I like this one because I can queue up a bunch of, is it queue or key? I don't know, I'm not British. I can assemble a number of video files to download. I'm going to click Start All right now, and this one will start coming through. I'm not sure what I had queued up. I don't really know what the word is. And what I do is whenever I find content that I like, I'll bring it up here. Ooh, it had an issue. Sometimes it has issues, but generally it's a very reliable program. The idea is, though, I'll queue up material that I want to save for later, and I download it. Instead of having it on YouTube, I bring it down locally to a hard drive. I make a copy for redundancy and put that in a real Faraday cage down in the basement. And that's what I do to store all of this material. I think that for people in the prepping community, this is sort of a no-brainer. I mean, there's everything about like EMPs or aliens exploding spaceships in space or whatever, and you know, which would destroy all electronics. But I mean, just even for basic things, you know, internet goes down sometimes. You might want to know how to do something. So I think that it is a good idea to have all this stuff local on your home computer that you can just bring up, and you don't need to have internet connectivity. And connected to that, unplug my light here. Connected to that is the idea of I've got lots of books in the house, and I think that's a really important thing for preppers to have also, a good library. This is all natural sort of science books, animal identification. This is a great book. It's really, the author of this, Tom Elias and Peter Dykman. I had an earlier edition of this that I keep in my backpack, my EDC pack, and I have this one for at home. It's a really great book on wild edibles. I would highly recommend that. The best thing is that it has a section on poisonous lookalikes for plants. So if you have a plant that you think is safe, if you look in the poisonous lookalikes section, it'll tell you whether you need to be like extra careful or whether there's nothing dangerous that looks like this. So you're totally safe in trying this plant. So that's a great book. So this thing on sort of natural sciences here. In the downstairs libraries, natural history, classic stuff. I mean, if the grid ever went down, we'd get really bored, wouldn't we? I mean, you know, you can hang out around the campfire, but, you know, just it's great to have books for reading. History stuff, sciences, more history, kids stuff, how-to stuff. There's a bunch of prepper stuff down here, actually. Kids books, entertainment stuff. And I think that's really important to have that kind of stuff that you don't need to have the grid up for. Over here there's another bookshelf built into the wall. This is just entertainment stuff, but that's important to have something to do. I mean, it'll take you a while to read Lord of the Rings, right? And I don't think people think about that very much. It's all about, you know, bullets and getting your food pantry in order, but it's like, what are you going to do when you're kind of bored? And I know that you'll be busy most of the time, you know, just taking care of crap. But, yeah, it's important to have some free, you know, some recreation sort of thing to do. And also just to be able to educate yourself when you need to know something. Like I said, I had a section down there on prepping. It has information on how to do, you know, hunting, trapping, anything that I didn't have time to learn beforehand. And I think it's very important to have that information. So is this an interesting idea to you, the idea of downloading content ahead of time? So you have it, build a library, you file things by directory, something on how to do trapping, how to do hunting, how to identify calibers, how to clean a weapon that maybe you're not familiar with. You may have, you know, weapons in your house, but you might come across something later and not have, you know, the faintest idea how to do anything with it. So to have all that information ahead of time, I think would be kind of useful, both in video form and also in books. What do you think? Comment, leave me your thoughts. Is it overkill? It could be overkill. Building bookshelves is kind of a full-time job for me. No, it's not. It's not really. But I am behind. I need to build another bookshelf. I don't know if you saw they're in cardboard boxes down there. There's only so many levels that you can build a banana box bookshelf before it starts becoming a safety concern. Yeah. Thanks for watching.